It's about that time of day again, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Joseph James here. I'm a day trader here at SchoolOfTrade.com. I run a live trade room every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Come out and join me every morning, 8 a.m. We offer a free trial right on the website. Check us out. Normally with me, I've got my partner in crime here. His name is Marty Errico from TradersAudio.com. Marty's on vacation this week, so we'll be dealing with just me and my lonely old charts here this morning. Normally, though, we'll have Marty from Traders Audio. He's broadcasting live with his partner Jeffrey every morning at 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time. And you can log right into TradersAudio.com and check them out on the crude oil squawk from the NYMEX exchange. So this morning, it'll be just me here this morning. Every morning, we usually go from the screen here in Los Angeles to the trading floor in New York City. Of course, I'll be doing my part here this morning to provide your technical analysis today. I'm doing a top-down approach, meaning I'm starting with a slower time frame, moving all the way down to a faster time frame, and I'm going to analyze what's happening overnight, coming out of London. I'll anticipate direction at the open, and I'm looking for those high percentage trading opportunities starting as early as 8 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. It's a pretty simple plan. As a technical analyst, I'm using charts. I'm going to look at news just briefly when we begin so I know what the layout is today. But I'm not going to be using fundamentals. I'm going to be using just charts to tell me exactly what to do today. And I'm going to begin with a slower time frame first, then move all the way down to a faster time frame, looking at what happened overnight, what happened in London. And then with that information, I should be able to anticipate direction at the open. And with that direction at the open, I'm looking for those high percentage trading opportunities starting this morning at 8 o'clock. So that's the plan today. Now, before we delay any further, let's jump right into it here this morning, and I want to begin by looking at a little bit of what today's news looks like this morning. As we always do each morning, we like to start out with what is the lay of the land today? What's our roadmap look like? This is important. We don't trade into major news. It's important that we identify major news before it comes out, and especially like this morning when we have a Red Star news event to kickstart our morning session. Very exciting Monday morning here that we have this morning. Before we jump into today's news, though, think about what the plan is. What's today? Today is Monday. What day of the week? What week of the month? What month of the year? It's the 5th week, and it's the month of August. Now, this is important, guys. This is important. Now that we look at this, we understand the month of August, right? Unless you've been living under a rock the past few weeks, right? What do we know about August? We know it's low volume. We know it's consistently inconsistent. Right? Consistently inconsistent. And really the most important part about a month of August trading scenario is that those high percentage trading opportunities are a little bit less likely on an August late in the month of August. If you haven't been trading the past 10 days, you probably have no idea about this, but if you've been watching price action the past few weeks, you've definitely seen a dip in the average volume. We check average volume throughout the entire morning. You've seen a dip in the average volume. It's as I said before, consistently inconsistent. And again, it's not that we can't trade this time of year, right? So we're not going to shy away from it, but we do know there are going to be times when we need to be sitting on our hands when the personality just isn't quite there, right? When it looks like it's falling asleep out there, we need to remind ourselves that it is the month of August, and this is going to happen. It's going to come and go throughout the day. So it's up to us. We've got to really pay attention and make sure that we know exactly what's going on as far as the market personality. Alrighty, so that's the first thing, month of August. Second thing is 5th week of the month. The 5th week of the month is important. In this case, it's the end of the month. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Fridays in the month of August. That's pretty important. We usually only have 4. So we have 5 Fridays in August. That means this Friday is the end of the month. Now, what do we know about the end of the month? Well, we know the end of the month is usually filled with Hail Mary trades, right? Traders who are either well underwater for the month or maybe they're playing with house money and they don't care what happens in that next trade. We know there are a lot of impulse type trading that goes around the end of the month. We also know that in crude oil futures, gold futures, different commodities, a lot of big companies, big consumer companies such as oil companies, shipping companies, right? Anything that has to consume crude oil, we know they're going to be entering in and out of the market at the end of the month and then at the beginning of the month as far as buying jet fuels, buying gasoline, as far as buying or hedging for the next month, right, the next few months. So we know at the end of the month and just at the beginning of the month, right, we know we're going to get a bunch of hedgers coming in. We know we're going to get folks coming in from different directions that we normally don't see during the month. So this is an exciting time. Now, again, we got to keep in mind it is the month of August. It's the last week of the month of August, so we are going to be inconsistently with volume. It is going to be slow. The majority of traders, I'm going to guess it'll be about 30% lower volume. That was the average we saw last week, right? The NYSE was trading at about 35% lower volume. We're probably going to see somewhere around that again this week. And of course, last but not least, today's a Monday. What do we know about a Monday? As you can see, we've already learned a lot about the clues so far. What do we know about a Monday? We know a Monday morning is always going to be a little bit sluggish to begin. The same reason why you and I would have paid $1 million to continue our weekend, right? I'll tell you, I would. I get up pretty darn early here in Los Angeles, California, and sometimes on Monday mornings, I'd probably cut a pretty big paycheck to be able to get one more day on my weekend. And I can imagine a lot of traders the same way as I am. So we know Monday mornings, more people are missing the train on the way to the city. More people are going to take the long way into the office. We know more people are going to look at this the last week of August, and they're going to assume it's going to be low volume, and they're going to use that as an excuse to come in late. We know that. Human nature says that. So Monday mornings, we're going to take our time. The most important thing on a Monday is to take our time getting ready for the rest of the week. Find the weekly levels. Find the news this week. Plan out your week ahead of time. Find those anchor chart levels, and then be ready for when the market does pick up this morning to be able to capitalize on it. It's important that we don't jump in too early on a Monday because, again, that self-fulfilling prophecy and the month of August here, we know it's going to be a little bit sloppy. It's going to be a little bit slow as we start. And at the same time, we're going to use our time wise today. In our trade room, we'll be doing our homework early on Monday morning so we're ready for the rest of the week. It's an easy way for us to lay the groundwork, right, to lay a solid foundation for the trading week ahead of us. Now, moving forward here, looking at the specific news we have today, we notice right away we've got Red Star News. Red Star News events are always on our radar. This morning, a very exciting report from durable goods orders. Now, durable goods orders always, since we're talking about crude this morning, durable goods orders is always on our minds because they definitely impact different commodities, and crude oil is one of them. So we're looking for durable goods at 8:30 this morning. So 8:15, we're setting our alarm. This tells us that this sleepy Monday morning, right, that sluggish start to a Monday morning may not really be that bad at all. It may not be that bad at all. So durable goods tells us be on the lookout here for some good action here early in the session today. We also can see we've got Dallas Fed manufacturing at 10:30. Now, this isn't a Red Star News event, but this ain't no slouch of event either. The Dallas Fed manufacturing survey, just like the Philly Fed, just like the Richmond Fed, just like the Empire State Fed, right? We're going to hear from different parts of our country regarding their manufacturing surveys. And of course, this is just one of them, that Dallas Fed manufacturing survey. Now, this report, again, not a Red Star News event, but it's going to be a major news event on our calendar. And that, of course, those are the two main news spots we have to worry about this morning. You see, we got some bill auctions later on in the session, but we're not going to worry about that too much for crude oil. So we got durable goods, 8:30, Dallas Fed at 10:30 this morning. I'll be setting my alarm for 8:15 and 10:15, 15-minute reminder ahead of each news. Now that we know that this morning is going to be a little bit sluggish as we begin, because it's a Monday, we also know that we have 8:30 durable goods orders, which means we should not have to wait that long to get our first opportunity to trade. Now let's look in and see where we're going to be participating this morning. Now, looking at crude oil futures, 30-minute chart. I call this my VIP chart. My VIP for crude, very simple. I'm looking at the very important price levels. On this particular chart, I see two very important clues. The first clue that I see comes from the previous highs of day, 1 and 2. Actually, there's actually 3 of them up there. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. We've got the previous weekly high at 107.53, and we have Friday's high, as you can see, at 106, looks like 106.94. So we have the previous high of day overhead. We also have the previous low of day down bottom here, 104.30, 103.60 area. These are important numbers. I'm always looking to see, am I above, am I below, or am I inside the range from yesterday? Where am I, guys? Well, as of right now, I am inside the range from yesterday, right? So we are inside the range. But what else happened? Do you see the failure? Do you see the price rejection? We saw price go outside of the range and then come inside of the range. What does that tell me? That's called price rejection. And we know the buyers failed, right? Price rejection. So we have price rejection at the highs. Buyers failed at the highs. We are inside the range right now. This is a selling clue here right off the bat this morning. So the first thing we see today is we're being told to sell crude oil futures. Now, as we can see here, we have our previous low of day, 104.30. But in order to get down to that previous low of day, we're going to have to go right through this trend line. Now, notice this trend line, guys. I did cheat a little bit on this trend line. I used the body of the candlesticks in the middle of the day on the 23rd. I cheated a little bit here by using those bodies. I was able to isolate a little bit more of these trend line areas here. And you'll notice I began the trend line at the low, but again, kind of cheated a little bit as I cut off a couple of these wicks using the bodies of those candlesticks. They really lined up nicely, as you can see, so that's why I decided to use it and draw it that way. We teach all of our students in our trade room how to draw trend lines, when to use the wicks, when not to use the wicks. Come out and join me anytime you'd like. And of course, so now we know we're looking to sell short. We've got a profit target at the trend line, profit target at 104.30. Ideally, the scenario goes something like this. We see price go above the previous high of day. If it fails back below, we sell short down to the previous low of day. Now, the tricky part comes in when we have to deal with news events, entries, right? How do we get into the trade safely? And then, of course, anything that gets in our way, right? Fibonacci levels, trend lines, levels of support that show up below us. So remember, we're going to be looking for shorts this morning, at least from what I can see right here. We're looking for shorts. But the most important thing is keep in mind we get that 8:30 news coming up. Remember to pick your proper entry into the short trade going lower. And remember, we have that trend line, which we cannot predict ahead of time whether it will be at 105 even or whether it will be at 105.50, right? We don't know yet exactly where that trend line will be. So, and also, too, when we're trying to sell short, we do not want to sell short directly into, right, that trend line. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for price to go lower, wave pattern short, double top short, right, whatever the entry pattern will be to get short. So right off the bat, there's a new lower low on crude. We're already seeing this a little bit of predictive price action give us some good opportunities here to get short here. Moving forward, here's another time frame we're going to look at today. I'm going to go down to the 5400 first. Here's my first anchor chart of the morning. Previous chart was a VIP chart. That means we're using that for very important price levels. Now in the anchor chart here this morning, you can see here some very big clues. We have successfully tested the sell zone overhead. You'll notice here we got a sell zone at 107 even to 107.44. That sell zone has been tested and is held as resistance. So now we know that this level has reacted, right? It has been something that has been reacted to. It's very important. You know, sometimes we get levels that just get blown right through, right? And those levels almost if they were never there. Because this level, as you can see here, 107 even, because it was a resistance level that held, we must now remember that that tells us a clue. That tells us there was reaction at this level. And usually markets will go from supply to demand, from support to resistance. So we can now expect prices to try, again, the keyword try, nothing guaranteed in this business, to try to get to 105.44. So knowing that, we can tell that our previous discussion on the 30-minute chart, well, that's pretty accurate, right? Now we can see here that is pretty darn accurate here. So we're looking good. We've got the direction moving to the downside. 105.44 will be our target. We are going to get some support here at 105.90 from the cloud, but again, my main target here will be 105.44, 104.98 if you can hold on to it patiently. I wouldn't, though. I take my profit off at 105.44 to be safe here this morning. It is the last week of August, as we know. So what are we seeing here? Bear channel. Bear channel says sell the highs. What happened? We just tested the highs. Sounds like a perfect scenario to look for selling opportunities this morning. I've got a target at 105.44, and at 105.44, I will look for more clues. If we're going lower, I'm going lower with it, down to 104.53. 105.44, 104.53, remember, guys, at any moment, if those support levels hold and we see an equal reaction to it, just like we saw reacting at 107, if we start going higher, I'll look for the buying pullback above 105.44. Again, first clue, though, I'm looking to get short here this morning on crude. That's the first key today. Second thing here, let's keep going. A little bit faster time frame here. Remember how we said we had some minor support there at 105.90? Well, here's a 105.84 for us to work with. 105.84, 105.47, 104.96, and 104.65. All of these levels, of course, are already posted for you guys on the blog this morning, so not to worry about writing them down. You'll have them for you on the blog. 107.44 and 107 even as resistance overhead. I've got 107.65, 107.95. That 107.95 will be major resistance as well. That's the top of that range as well. So, plan's pretty simple. Selling short down to 105.84 if we're taking the 1800 tick chart. 105.84, that'll be an easy target for you. If we happen to go higher, I will be careful buying here, guys. Do not buy into that 107 even or that 107.44. I'll be looking for a buy, though, if we come out of this buy zone here going higher. I'll definitely be looking for a buy as long as we get down to that 105.84 first. But as far as if we just curl around here and start to go higher, I'm going to have to wait till we get above that 107.44 before I start feeling comfortable getting to the buy side here. So be careful to the long side. As you can see here, before I know it, we're going to be out of luck here to get into this short trade here today on crude, so we better hurry up and find that entry pattern. My last chart here this morning, as we go down into our trade room, our last chart this morning, I'm opening up my 600 tick chart on crude, and we can see here that we are just about ready here now to look for our first entry pattern short. Just about ready. You're going to see the trend change. The trend will change, and once that trend changes, members of myself in the trade room this morning will be looking to sell that baby lower. And again, we got all the levels already marked up there, guys, right off our anchor charts. As always, these charts are posted for you guys and gals on the blog every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we are looking forward to having our partner in crime here, Marty, back next week after his break, his much-needed break there from the action. Guys, I want to thank you so much for coming in and joining me today. As always, my name is Joseph James. I run a live trade room every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Come out and visit me sometime, SchoolOfTrade.com. Again, that is 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We offer a free trial right on the website. Check it out. You'll learn all about our trading style, our methodology, and our membership levels right on our website. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today. Don't forget, we love your feedback. If you got any feedback for me, shoot me an email. That's jj@schooloftrade.com. I'd love to know what you like, what you dislike, what would you like to see added, maybe removed. What do you want to see as part of this broadcast next time? And, of course, anybody is welcome to come out and join us for our live broadcast every morning at 7:30 a.m. Just shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to send you for tomorrow's links or the rest of the week's links so you guys can come in and join me for this morning prep. Coming to you live from Los Angeles, the entire team here at School of Trade. Wish you guys a wonderful morning session. We are looking to get short here on crude at this time. We've got 8:30 news, some durable goods orders, and we're trading the last full week of the month of August. Hope you guys had a great summertime weekend. Hope we're getting back to the desks here safely and soundly this morning, and hope you're excited for another big week of trading in front of us. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Joseph. We'll see you guys here tomorrow on a 23-hour and 30-minute break. Signing off now. We'll see you guys in the morning. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.